Cole Froch is nervous and apprehensive about Saturday's World Super Middleweight title defence against George Groves, but claims that's when he's at his best. The WBA and IBF champion has relocated to London after his training camp in Nottingham. He'll face Groves in the final head-to-head news conference this lunchtime and says mentally and physically he couldn't be better.
Not just the previous fight against George, but other fights in my career where I've took my foot off the gas, mentally not really been at the races, you know, wanted to get the fight out of the way rather than get on with it. And the difference between that is you turn up thinking, I'll get this one done, we'll get it done, it'll be all over tomorrow, I can't really be bothered, let's get in and get the job done.
George Groves, timing perfect.
Rather than let's get in there and put on a performance, put on a show, let's do the business, you know, and that's the mindset I've got now. So I'm feeling the tension of it, and you know, I'm apprehensive, and hopefully I'll become more nervous over the next couple of days, which I'm sure I will, because when I'm under pressure and I'm nervous and I'm fearful, I'm at my best.
Wow, that is going to be controversial.
Like a caged animal ready to just come out of the cage, or a fox backed up against a fence by an angry owner who wants you out of the garden. You know, you're gonna fight your way to get out and get free. And for me, this is fight time, and I'm looking forward to it. This is the moment I relish, and I'm feeling a bit tense now and a bit nervous and a bit apprehensive. But hopefully the nerves will really kick in when I get to the ground, and that'll bring my A game and bring the best out of me, because the training's all been there. The training, the hard work's done. The hard work's done. This is now the final hurdle, the final furlong. This is just crossing that line, and I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it, genuinely. I don't know if you can see the smile on my face, but I'm excited.
Well, George Groves has warned Froch is in even better shape than he was for their first fight last November, and he'll avenge that defeat on Saturday night.
It was time to break out the popcorn for George Groves and his team as they gathered round the TV at his new purpose-built gym in West London for part 2 of Behind the Ropes.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste.
I'm spending a lot more time here in Sheffield.
Throughout the last 12 weeks, he's been able to enjoy all the comforts of home, which has had a major effect on his training.
The team has gelled really well, and we got that confidence in each other now that it isn't belief, it's knowing. You know, we believe we've worked well together before the first fight, but it was the first time. It was all a bit rushed. This time we've had a much longer, smoother camp. It's been well said now that I've spent much more time with my conditioning coach Barry. I've spent more time with my strength coach Dan, and obviously a lot more time with Paddy as well. So we're in the gym, we're feeling good.
Groves watched intently during an extended scene of the champion in sparring. But the challenger is unimpressed.
The sparring they showed wasn't flattering to him at all. So maybe that was the best bit of sparring they could dig out for him. Maybe it was the worst. I don't need to necessarily worry too much about his tactics right now, because this is all about me. And as big-headed as that sounds, as long as I go out and perform, think about myself, he's just not going to be at the races.
And with Groves now working closely with a physical trainer for the first time, he reckons Froch won't be able to keep up with him when it comes to fitness.
If he's talking about being close to his fight weight an awful long time before fight night, well, that's a difficult thing. That's not a healthy thing. We look at Oscar De La Hoya did it against Manny Pacquiao, and it's well documented that he ultimately says he got it wrong. You know, he picked up injuries, he picked up illnesses throughout camp and couldn't perform on fight night. So overtraining is always a factor. But again, it's not something that I'm going to rely on, because the very best Cole Froch can show up and it still won't be enough.
So Groves believes every element of his preparation has been meticulous. On Saturday night, we find out whether he's right. Fraser Dainton, Sky Sports.
Well, we heard from Jack Wilshere earlier on England, but he's also had his say on Saturday's bout at Wembley.
I'm not sure he's going to win, you know. I mean, Groves is, you know, last time he shut a lot of people up, you know. I mean, people thought he was just this mouthy little Londoner, but you know, he walked the walk as well. So, you know, he's got a lot of respect from Froch this time, and you know, it'll be an interesting fight. And if I had to say, I'll probably say Groves will win.
He's gone for Groves. Well, You don't want to miss this. The final head-to-head news conference between Froch and Groves takes place from midday today on Sky Sports News. Should be fantastic. Get some more now from the WBA and IBF super middleweight champion Carl Froch. He says he's learned from the mistakes he made in his first fight with George Groves when he underestimated the challenger.
I won the fight. I got put down and I got, you know, hit with too many shots for too long through the fight, but I turned it around. Seen it yourself, around 7, 8 and 9, I turned the fight around, did what I always do, finished strong, did the business defending my titles. So, you know, I take a lot of positivity from the first fight, but there's a lot of things to improve on. And I've made sure for this camp that I've given myself every possible chance to be on my A game, especially because of the size of the fight. Wembley Stadium, I mean, this is one of the best stadiums in the world, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion. And it's the national stadium. You know, it's nobody's football ground, it's a national stadium. And it's just unbelievable. It's the ultimate for boxing. To be able to represent myself, my sport, at a stadium this big, I'm just so excited about it. I just cannot wait. I thought the fight, I was wishing the fight was last Saturday, because Wednesday, Thursday I was feeling the fight fever. But now I've landed in London, you know, I've got a couple of days, I'll have 2 or 3 nights sleep now, and then I'll be ready to go on Saturday night. I'm really looking forward to it, looking forward to showing everybody what I'm about and what I can do.
Ultimately, Carl had to make an excuse for the first fight, and he decided that dancing on TV shows and whatever else he used as an excuse, that would fuel him to motivate him, and he'd change something, and then that would make a difference on fight night. It won't make no difference. He trains in Sheffield because that's where his trainer's based. I'm pretty sure he'd much rather train at home if he could, but he doesn't have that choice. So he has to train in Sheffield, and probably doesn't want to do the 1.5-hour drive it is from wherever he lives. So for that reason, he's away from home, and he's certainly took it seriously. You can see that. But whether he's got it right or not, we'll have to find out.